although they keep coming up with these surprises, our theories don't work. We've got to come up with new theories. Like, for example, they said no changes in the solar system. Now they're talking about there's changes relatively often with respect to the age of the universe, and that we've even had planets come and go in our solar system, but we have to justify what we've been saying for years. We've got to keep teaching the same old thing, although we know there's problems with it. We talk about it's almost like quoting Chairman Mao, that you could say, okay, Chairman Mao says so-and-so, and then say something completely the opposite, although you won't have to worry about getting arrested because you've quoted Chairman Mao. So it's the same type of thing. You say, I agree with the standard accepted theory, but here's some exceptions. And you can talk about things like that, but you can't basically degrade the accepted ideas, or you don't get your contracts and you don't get your funding for whatever it is, or you don't get your degree. In fact, I think I know one person that was working on a PhD and happened to point out some things that were accepted but mathematically incorrect, and so he got thrown out of school. So if he'd have waited until he got his degree and then said all of that, he would have been better off. But that's the problem, is a lot of people, then you get your degree, then you need a job. So you've got to keep going along with the accepted ideas to stay employed. I originally worked for one aerospace company. They had the National Management Association. I would give talks all over the U.S. for that group about Velikovsky. Well, then I got a job at another aerospace company, and I didn't mention Velikovsky for the first year or so when I was at the new company. And the only reason I did then is a lady came in one day and said, "Are you the Dr. Ransom that wrote The Age of Velikovsky?" And I said, "Oh, they found out, so I may get fired." But it turned out that wasn't a problem, because they had, no interest in whether he was correct or not. I mean, it wasn't anything with respect to the type of job I was doing. So it wasn't a problem for me, but it would have been if I'd have tried to get a job at a university or something. When science finally switches over, you can't publish the old theory anymore even. And that was one of the things about in the dinosaur controversy, when Alvarez published his paper in 1980, both Alvarez's, that an asteroid probably wiped out the dinosaurs. The theory before that was nothing ever happened catastrophic like that. After that paper, they said, oh, okay, we switched, and now if you tried to publish a paper that said, wait a minute, the dinosaurs were dying off before the asteroid hit, then you couldn't publish something like that, because, hey, that kind of detracts from our accepted theory. So I think there is a problem with peer-reviewed things, especially when the peer reviewers have an interest in the accepted theory. Keep an open mind and investigate the information. And part of the problem is people take somebody else's word for it. If somebody says, "Oh, that's nuts," and you say, "Okay, that's nuts," and they may have said that because they have just the opposite view. And so be careful when somebody says, "This is absolutely true," get a different opinion. When I was even in grade school, I remember my father said, when you read a book, for example, something in history, you're reading what that person thought. And if you want to know what happened, you'd better read at least one other person's opinion and maybe 3 or 4 others to find out what, and then make up your own mind as to what is reasonable and what isn't.